Okay, so this episode of Journey?
We'll call it Journey. Yes.
Yeah, so Kino has been missing. I'm not really disappointed in this week because they actually delivered a solid episode.
Yes.
With
Shizu
and Riku and
T.
Yeah, the little girl and...
T is by far my favorite character ever because T's like, there's a thing that needs to be accomplished. Grenade! Poof!
Yeah, so she goes fishing with grenades, and it's a huge success. They get their dinner, and everybody's happy.
This episode is called Country
of the Radio Waves.
Country of Radio Waves. Well, actually, what did you find out? You said you did some research on this season of Kino. What did you find out?
Yeah, so Kino is a series of books, and the season of Kino, unlike the 2003 adaptation, is basically it was left up to fan vote for what kind of stories they wanted to see animated. So this is pretty much what we're getting, the top voted shows.
Which is why it's obviously why this feels disjointed to us who don't know that, who've never watched the original series.
Never watched it or read any of the books or anything.
Yeah, so that's why it's been feeling the way it has. But this episode, it's a callback to characters we know, characters we like, characters we've come to care about. We give a shit about.
Riku's my favorite character, so I'm
T's
down
mine.
with this. And so we're doing the country of the radio waves this week, and they kind of stumble into a cult of idiotic people, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, it's an episode that shows that religion doesn't necessarily need spiritual or otherworldly background to it. It can have a scientific background to cause a religion. Mm-hmm. And this whole town, it seems almost too good to be true because countries in this world of Kino, they don't get too big. Because they get too big, that's when crime and badness happens. That's why they've always been small, apparently. Mm-hmm. But this one's big, and they're like, why is it big and yet everyone's fine? What's going on? Until we find a teacher who decided to decapitate his entire classroom.
Yeah, that was a very bad lesson for those children. They did not learn anything today.
They all got F's in life.
They all failed.
So the police, takes Shizu's statement on the incident, and then she's like, "Aren't you gonna try him?" And like, "Oh no. See, what happened is radio waves made him do it."
Radio waves made him do it. I was instantly calling bullshit on this. I'm like, what?
And then, every time we're going, what? Even Shizu, basically not as more eloquently than we did, basically goes, what?
Yeah, so he's spinning this tale of how like centuries ago they were slaves and the slave masters were using chips in their brains to influence their thoughts and make them do what they wanted.
Using radio waves.
And I'm like, how does that even work with the descendants of these people, Are they just passing chips down through their... This is not how it works.
And then Shizu goes, wait, are you suggesting that the machines are being passed on genetically? So, in order to live in this country, you have to have a job. So he goes, okay, that'll be my job. I'll go destroy the radio station. And they go, oh, will you please? Will you? Yeah, he'll destroy the radio station.
Yeah.
And, and he goes to the radio station. It's destroyed.
It's already destroyed. It's, the radio towers tipped over and everything.
He takes pictures. And they go back. We went and the radio station is destroyed. So, oh, you did it. Like, no, it was already destroyed. It's been destroyed forever. Here's pictures. And there's
pictures.
And basically, they show them their god doesn't exist. They show them, like, if you could, it's like the most concrete way of showing your god doesn't exist. And they break. They're like, these are all fake. These are fake.
No, not Photoshop.
Yeah, these are fake. Fake news. And instantly, everyone who was praising Shizu goes, that asshole!
That asshole!
He's been controlled by the radio waves! So, they're gonna isolate him in the hospital, and then they're like, T's missing, and T's like, T steals a baby?
Yeah, she stole a baby. This is like the best hostage situation ever.
With a grenade. Baby in one hand, grenade in the other. And then Shizu gets in his head, oh, of course, yeah. God, play along. And it's like, oh yeah, we're controlled by the radio waves. If we don't leave,
the radio waves have got us. We're totally cuckoo.
Yeah, if we don't leave now, who knows what we'll do?
Yeah, and Riku kind of steals the show. He starts howling. He's like,
So they leave. They get out, and Shizu basically creates this tale because they take the police chief hostage. Hostage.
Yeah, they take him hostage.
And he's like, we actually found another radio antenna out there, and we cranked it up to the max. So by about this time tomorrow,
your entire country is screwed.
Yeah, everyone's gonna kill themselves. It'll be pandemonium, cats and dogs living together. Everyone will die. Everyone will kill each other. And he said, "No, how could you do something?" And they're like, "Bye."
It was the radio waves, man.
And Riku even asked, "Why did you say that?" It's like, it's. I think Shizu was trying to give him one last chance to realize that.
Yeah, he was giving him a last chance.
It's like, look, it's people. People can be that evil. People can be that bad. You can't blame it on some force. People did this. She's trying to prove that people do these things.
Well, I disagree with you on them being evil. I think they were just stupid. They were.
Yeah. Evil isn't. I agree with you. Actually, I agree with your dissent on that. Evil isn't the right word, but the evils of man, perhaps, I don't know, are caused by man, not mysterious radio waves. So he's trying to help this police officer see it, and he just leaves it like, there's nothing, he knows there's nothing I can say. All I can do is show, and if he isn't gonna believe what's right in front of him, when he goes back and no one's killed each other, there's nothing else I can do.
Well, alternatively, they could just believe that and just snap on their own, and there would be pandemonium just because they're that dumb.
And that's pretty much how it ends. And then we get this cute little short interstitial of basically T and Riku spending the day together. And it's sort of like, I think it implied that T and Riku sort of grew closer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And at the same time, T was also overcoming, being away from the country she had spent her whole life in.
Yeah, this is a great character building moment between the dog and the girl.
It was a really good moment, and it was actually a moment of feels, especially at the end when basically Shizu just lays it out. He's like, that's probably why she did it. And Riku just looks at her and it's just like, aww. And it was nice. It was a really good episode. And unlike the last couple episodes,
it totally makes up for the abomination that was last week.
And the week before. So, it was a really good episode. We liked it. And we're just going to continue with the positive hype train. And then next on our list is Ancient Megasis' Bride, which continues the story of our muscle mage. And Chisei, who's not dead despite being stabbed through the upper chestal region with a giant praying mantis claw.
Got impaled and she's totally fine.
Yeah. So Muscle Mage Elias, or Elias, I think it's Elias. I think it's just Japanese not knowing how to say that word.
I think it really is Elias, and they're just pronouncing it their way because they don't have the long vowels.
Right. Elias, the Muscle Mage, tears apart the Mantis Lady Chimera thing. To which the sorcerer is sort of like, that took me so long to make. Really?
Why are you gonna do that? That's just so mean.
Yeah. And basically, it is a Chisei episode.
Yeah, it kind of rolls into a flashback at this point. It's starting to roll in it, and you could still hear the sounds of Elias punching this mantis. So I'm like, yep, mantis is getting off screen.
So basically, they do a real quick. They're like, okay, let's give them the highlights. Ulysses was a dog, had a little girl that was a redhead, a green-eyed redhead that kids made fun of. She got killed by a horse cart while running away from the bullies. She died. Then he laid in her grave until he died. The end.
That's a very tragic story.
It was very tragic, but they went through it. Like, they sped raced through that real fast so they can get, we need to get back to the important stuff. Mm-hmm. But we need to give Ulysses background. Ulysses background. So, it comes back out of it. And basically, out of nowhere, Renfred shows up, shoots fucking, Chisei goes, she goes Super Saiyan now.
Yeah, so, Muscle Mage...
Oh, wait, no, I got this. Hold on. Let me start up. Okay, I gotta do this right. Muscle Mage kills Mantis. Calls Sorcerer by real name.
That pisses off the
Sorcerer.
real sorcerer.
Whose name I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yes.
It will be on the bottom of the screen. She's it's a he. I keep saying she because it's voiced by a female. It looks feminine.
Its name is Joseph, as it claims.
Yes, its real name is Joseph.
Other weird name.
Summons another chimera that's a spider drider chimera that actually has the head of Ulysses, Isabel attached to it. Isabel.
Yes.
And Ulysses can't take it, but before Ulysses can go off to be with Isabel, just a random will-o'-the-wisp shows up and teleports them away.
Yeah, this guy's extremely powerful because of his stature.
Yeah, because he's like, if your bottom of the screen is the ground, he's this tall. That's how tall he is. And he whisks them away, and they think they're safe for the moment. And then Sorcerer's like, "Found you!"
Yeah, it doesn't take him long. It doesn't take him long to find them at all. So
Yeah.
He must have teleported him like 10 feet away.
It has to have been. And then Ulysses just sort of snaps out of it. It's like, okay, wait, Isabel's dead, right?
Yeah.
I need to move on. Shit! I need to move on! And then turns to Chisei and goes, "I will be your familiar. Do it." And she's like, but you'll die if I die, and I only live 3 years. Do it! Okay. And they do a bonding ceremony.
Yeah, so the bonding ceremony is kind of ridiculous because he puts a wound on her open palm, and we're like, she's already got
Bleeding
a gaping
profusely.
hole in her chest there. So wouldn't that suffice?
And then they with their powers combined, they murder the Isabel Chimera spider.
Isabel gets one shot, by the way.
One-shotted, because everything gets one-shotted in the show. And coincidentally enough, the moment that happens, Renfred, the sorcerer with the scars on his face and missing one arm, shows up and shoots the sorcerer Joseph in the back of the head. One shot.
It doesn't take.
But it doesn't take, no. He gets right back up, and
Like, what the fuck was I doing?
yeah, it's like, and just like, okay, you know what? There's too many of y'all to fight right now. So bye! And then takes off.
He basically does a Cartman. He's like, screw you guys.
I'm going home. And it was a great episode. I loved watching Chisei lose it. Like, Elias had to hold her back because she was like bending space and time because she was getting that angry.
Yeah, and he said that she ate a part of him.
Oh yeah, because he tried to touch her and his whole arm got ripped off.
So that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, and it's like, so she is a powerful, she has the potential to be an all-powerful mage of death.
Well, she is pretty short.
She is, yeah. And it's very interesting. I like where they're going with this. Now, Ulysses, who's now named Ruth, which I don't know. It said Ruth on the screen, but she was not saying Ruth.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he was named Ruth either.
But yeah, apparently to become a familiar, you have to have a new name. And so now there's one new party member. They have a new party member. There's, the source, Renfred and his apprentice take off, and Elias, Chisei, and Ruth go home with the ominous message from Elias, "You'll get your telling off when we get home, Chisei."
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna scold you for that.
And so it was action-packed. And it's so weird when you can get a series like that can be action-packed while still feeding you lore.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually really good. I liked the episode. It's just continuation of everything that is good. And that's pretty much the episode.
My only caveat with this show is hopefully they'll extend the battle in the future.
Yeah, battles are over in 3 seconds.
We have Tim, Ruth. It seems like the only person right now who has not one-shot somebody is our dear muscle mage.
Yeah.
And it must be because of his size.
He's too big.
He's too big to do it.
So we'll see if this trend continues as we go through the series, but that was episode 8, and it was a good one.
Okay, our final episode this week is going to be Girl's Last Tour, and that's not because it was the best episode like we've usually been ranking, but it had this feeling like something was going to happen, and that thing that was going to happen this week was going to be big. It had that feeling.
And yeah, it had its feeling like it's setting something up.
Like it was going to be some epic.
Because they're calling, in stories, when they do a lot of callbacks, it's because they're about to do something. And this episode had a lot of callbacks. Mm-hmm. They were talking a lot about the guy who gave him the camera. They were talking a lot about the girl with the plane. They're talking about a lot with the pillars with the faces on them.
Yeah.
So this was another episode that was split into 3. The first one was, I think it was called like Graveyard or something like that.
So the first one, they go into this area, and it's not at first apparent what it is. And what they really stumbled into was just a graveyard. And I'm thinking at first, because they're just rummaging through these shelves that are kind of like filing cabinets.
Yeah.
So it's not at all clear that these are the grave sites. Not literally, because there's no dead bodies or bones in them.
But it's the graves of these people, of the memories of these people.
So it has like some possessions of them, like a time capsule or something.
Yeah.
And each one of these filing cabinets is a grave site. So they kind of plunder it a bit.
Yeah,
before they realize what it is.
Yeah, when they're having this conversation where they're talking about how memories eventually fade, isn't it great that we have this camera so we'll never forget? Because the camera will make us all never forget. And she just realizes, we've not just been taking people's shit, we've been destroying their memories.
Yeah, so...
and usually they're like, oh, we gotta put it back. And usually like, well, we'll just put them into any of them, doesn't matter. And she's like, that would destroy the memory. We have to put them back in the right places. So they actually spend the rest of this mini episode pondering death and living after death through memories. They've done this before, but they did it way better this time around.
Yeah.
And it was a silent, not really silent, but it was a softer, quieter episode of just contemplation.
Really somber and everything.
Yeah, and it's sort of not like the feels like with Land of the Lustrous with foes, going Super Saiyan because she's, feels useless, watching her friend being taken off, those kind of feels. But
it was really stripped down, but it
was feels there. They were there. They were there.
Then the next part, your favorite part actually, where they're going up the tower.
Oh God, was that the second part? I thought that was the third part.
That was the second part.
That wasn't the third part.
Going up the spiral tower.
Oh, that's what you mean by favorite part. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
So Featherhoof here is terrified of heights. And this is a really, really high tower, and it's spirally, and part of the path is broken, so they can't go further. But it continues on the outside, where you can actually look down and see how high up you are.
And you is an idiot, but she's somehow a deep idiot. She refuses to just take the elevator that was outside. She refuses to go outside because she's terrified of heights.
Well, the elevator was broken, for one thing.
I know, but she said even if it wasn't, she wasn't going to take it. Fuck that noise. But then, and you says this line, she's like, you can't live life if you're always afraid of death, or something to that effect. And again, we're focusing on death. We're focusing on life, memories, living. It's a very thematic episode. And she just, she, against her better judgment, takes it. The path's broken. And they have to go. Someone built a little pathway outside, a very rickety pathway.
Well, it's not rickety, but.
Well, it's ancient.
When they're taking their vehicle on it, it's another story, so I'm not exactly afraid of heights, but what they did was in no way safe at all.
No. I'm surprised. If it wasn't for, again, Yu's an idiot, but somehow she's smart when she needs to be. If it wasn't for Yu's quick thinking, they would not have survived that. Because Yu basically, because she's even afraid of being out there, let alone flooring it. Yu just grabs the handle and just says, "Floor it, bitch!
We gotta go. We gotta go fast."
And they barely make it in from the pathway collapsing out from underneath them. And it just ends with, Yu just basically saying, "See? You can't live life if you're afraid of death.
Yeah, we made it. It's everything's fine. So
basically proving that because Chi was so afraid of death, they were gonna die because Chi wouldn't put the pedal to the metal because she was so terrified of death.
Well, I'm surprised that they have not died yet. So
yeah, I think it's because they have Yu, which I'm pretty sure by the end of this series,
Yu is immortal.
Yu's gonna turn out to be God.
Yeah, she's just keeping her human form just out of respect for her friend.
Yeah. And then we hit the last bit, which I think is just called Moonlight or Moonshine or something like that, or Moon.
Yeah, so something about the moon.
And so they're in this bit of town where they're looking for stuff. They figured, oh, there's still houses here, so they might still have stuff in it. Turns out to be not the case. Well, not entirely. And Yu apparently is psychotic because she sees the moon and she's like, moon power at 100%.
Yes.
And she's just acting weird. She finds a half-broken piece of a aerial antenna and like wields it around as a sword. It's like, the moon is my power.
Yeah, so I thought this was gonna be some kind of callback to Sailor Moon or something, but she's just having like a full psychotic break here. She's like, moonlight power is so good.
And this episode actually breaks the theme because it really doesn't amount to anything. It's actually the weakest part of this episode, but it made us laugh so much that we still loved it. Because after Yu's just going around being psychotic, she even smacks she clonks her on the head with the bit of antenna. They find beer.
They find beer.
Like, what is this? It's like, beer. I don't know what that is. And they crack it open and it says, oh, look, golden water. Golden water. And they drink it and become drunk and then just dance. They just dancing in the moonlight.
Yeah, so...
praising the moon. It's like Dark Souls praise the sun. You're like, praise the moon.
If there's supposed to be like some message or a theme in this part of the episode, I totally missed it, so...
It was just funny. Like, it's just like, okay, we had two segments that were kind of deep about life
really
and death
deep,
and memory. So we're gonna have something that's completely psychotic.
Just time to break open the alcohol and have a good time.
We're gonna pat ourselves in the back for those two deep, episode bits by cracking open the beer and just chugging it. And like I said, it's in all objective reasoning, it's a bad episode. It's a bad mini episode. It doesn't amount to anything. But it made us laugh.
Yeah, it was a good comedy moment. So I'm not gonna say that it was bad, but it's bereft of any meaning.
Yeah. So that was Girls Last Tour. It made us laugh. it was good. And that's the final episode for this week. So guys, after that, I mean, we had 5 really good episodes. We couldn't even rank them. We thought like, okay, let's do a pro and con. Maybe if we can, dice it down. We really couldn't chop it down.
So my best hopes are that the rest of the season actually continues like this. Probably going to be disappointed, but
yes,
at least we had it this week.
Yes. So, I mean, it was nice. I mean, it was nice being. We were disappointed that we weren't disappointed.
I wasn't disappointed.
But no, I mean, no, it's like. I don't know how else to put it. It's like it's a double negative, so it means good. I don't know. Because it's like,
if I don't have to, sit around and trash something, then, I'm having a good time. So
yeah, and that's, 4 episodes of an anime, 2.5 hours of nothing but a good time. So guys, if you have the chance, watch these episodes. It was a good time to be had. They were beautiful, music was awesome, and all the stories were either really good or just downright fun to watch. And that's all we got to say about it this week. So we're going to end it here. Guys, if you enjoyed it, please let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.